All right, with all these drones flying over our heads, I think it's time that we look into probably one of the coolest movies from the early 2000s. Now, this movie has a bizarre pace and is a little bit intense at times, but I think that revisiting War of the Worlds 2005 is a fantastic merit. Number one, because Tom Cruise is such a fantastic fucking actor in it, and number two, it's just kind of a little bit of a disturbing video. I mean, I think they were going for it at this point. There's simply something devious about the fact that they're portraying aliens in a way that just exterminate humans in a bizarre and creepy kind of way, and how we are kind of just exposed to the cosmos, and if any alien power decided to do this to us, they probably could. And the universe is so fucking big that anything is truly possible being out there, and it's not totally without reason to suggest that something like this couldn't happen at one point. And it's just kind of a creepy ass fucking feeling when you think about it, knowing that yes, there could be like something like this out there. And the way the movie portrays the whole event is very intense, and I gotta hat it off to them. The first little bit of this fucking movie is fucking intense, and I'd love to just see more of kind of the first moment of contact when the aliens just decimate and take humans totally by surprise. And how could I possibly mention this movie without talking about Lord Sir Tom Cruise himself, who puts on an absolutely fan fucking tastic performance as the kind of asshole bad dad that just kind of like you kind of can't help but hate him a little bit, but also can't help but love him. He's that kind of thing, and his troubled relationship with his kids is just a fascinating kind of side story in itself. But shit quickly hits the fan as the aliens do their initial wave of attacks, just utterly fucking taking people by surprise and just obliterating them. And all the different effects that happen, and just how the population reacts to such an event is really, really, really intense, because this is exactly how it would go down. Everybody's just kind of in a state of shock, not really thinking clearly, don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, days, if you think about it, back in 2005, camera phones weren't very prevalent at all. So, I mean, days, everybody would be filming this shit on their phones, not really knowing what the fuck to do and getting themselves killed. Like, it's such a commentary on how we as people never put our greater survival up ahead of just what we perceive as the norm. So yeah, War of the Worlds 2005 is a great movie to come back to, and it still holds up incredibly well today. Some of the CGI is a little dated, but other than that, you have an absolutely perfect film to just explore what an alien invasion would look like. Worst case scenario. Now, I mean, it quickly becomes the best case scenario, because no spoilers here. The fucking aliens just get killed by, bacteria or microorganisms, something we would never in a million years guess. But I mean, in many ways, that's kind of a more realistic depiction of it, because I mean, you're having something that is entirely and completely possible. This weirdness, this strangeness has to exist in space time. And really, the beginning bit of the movie, I mean, it drags at some parts, yes, but the beginning part of the movie holds up so well and is so intensive that you're just absolutely glued to the screen. And it really goes to show how amazing a start of a movie could be. Spielberg just nails it off the bat here. Now, there at parts it just seems like the movie they're just being ferried from one place to another attack, and it's kind of frustrating because you'd think they'd hunker down in place, but you don't know what they were, would be going through mentally, and it's pretty insane to think that this type of event could happen, And with all those drone sightings going on, there's never a better time to fucking revisit War of the Worlds. Tom Cruise is a thoroughly compelling actor in this movie and very, very likable performance. I would say it's among one of his best performances in semi-action role. But I mean, its biggest strengths are just the fact that it portrays like a normal reaction to something very abnormal. It's haunting the way it just holds up and is so bizarre. I mean, it's just on right on point for being a very bizarre adventure, and I just had to talk about because it's a very fairly great movie. I mean, yes, it has downsides. There's lots of parts in it that drag later on. But I mean, when you watch this as a full new viewing, and if you haven't seen it in a long time, or haven't seen it, oh fuck, that beginning is so intense when the aliens first show up. So yeah, I would definitely recommend War of the Worlds 2005. I don't know what else they've come out with since then. I don't really care. Maybe I think they tried to do a TV show, but this movie is a very worthy watch.